Why, hello there, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to a victory day finally for the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Craig Borden, here on Jays Latest. Make sure you please hit those like, share, subscribes as we talk Blue Jays baseball right here every day. So let's talk last night because, oh my gee, we actually won a ball game last night after the Blue Jays have been 1-9 over their last 10 games. It's been a rough week for Toronto Blue Jays baseball. How are we going to do things better? What's going to go on offense, defense, pitching? Pick a problem over the last 10 games. The Blue Jays finally were able to get a win yesterday as they came back and walked it off against the Boston Red Sox. So this game was expected to be a bullpen day, and boy, was it a regular bullpen day. Bullpen days I always dread. It just means usually there's something inherently flawed with your team that you can't figure out how to get a starting rotation going to get back to like I said, get five people out there on the mound and be able to do what they need to do for starting pitching. So Yariel Rodriguez technically got the start in this game yesterday. One of the Blue Jays lawn men. Hopefully, they were going to get some length out of him so that he wouldn't, be able to move things through, get through this lineup, and hopefully take down the Red Sox with just enough stuff. Unfortunately, it didn't start out so great for the Toronto Blue Jays because enough things happened in the first inning that somehow a balk scores Rafael Devers. Then you also had a Alex Bregman home run. That was his seventh of the season. I regretting what I said so far a little bit on Alex Bregman's offense being done. I clearly am being shown and eaten my words on the fact that he can hit some home runs still. Has been one of the best hitters in baseball so far to start this season. Maybe it was just a change of scenery. I have no idea. But the former Houston Astro is doing very good for the Boston Red Sox as he has been really anchoring this offense, especially at a time where it took a while for Rafael Devers to get going. But now both of them are efficiently moving. Alex Bregman been 328 on the season, and like I said, tagged up on Yariel Rodriguez to put the Red Sox right off the bat up 2-0. Of course, this is happening while we're recording the Jaybird Watching podcast live last night, so we were all kind of looking for the therapeutic couch in a psychiatrist, if you want to call it that. So bullpen goes as bullpen days go, and we get Eric Lawler was up next. He actually did pretty well when you consider it was 4 innings of work out of the bullpen. Lawler gave up two runs, and it was just enough to keep things moving. Just in typical Red Sox fashion to start the series, Jarren Duran and Rafael Devers led to the RBIs for things against Eric Lawler, but it eventually, translated. So 4 strikeouts, 4 innings of work. I can't scoff at a bullpen day with somebody like Lawler coming out. You kept him in the game for 4 innings. That's perfectly what a bullpen day is supposed to do. Chad Green eventually comes out in the sixth and gives up a home run to Carlos Narvaez, and he tagged that thing. It still might be coming down. It was hit pretty stinking hard. So at this point, it's been a typical bullpen day. The Blue Jays are losing at this time in the ball game, going into the bottom of the sixth by 6. It's looking like another Toronto Blue Jays loss, and things were just that bad. Dalton Varsho, in his infinite wisdom, is obviously showing his health after being a little, banged up with a shoulder fund to get to go in this, spring training and into the regular season. After making what still is being talked about as the catch of the year already so far with the fall slash swipe and catch and whatever you want to call it. The tumble has led to a rumble in today's game. That is, Dalton Varsho hits his first home run of the season. Very, very great home run. Just ripped it, took care of it. And the Blue Jays go back to back in the bottom of the sixth inning with Alejandro Kirk. Captain goes deep, and Kirk. This is what Kirk can do. If he gets hot, he gets going on a streak. Um, we'll see what happens. But these home runs looked special for the Blue Jays. It got the dugout moving, got everybody off their butts. It was very, very intriguing to see. So the question is, are the Blue Jays alive at this point? Is there a pulse? Because in the seventh inning, a few guys get on. Ernie Clement and Vlad Jr., who with a nice single. Vlad Jr. hit this single in the left, literally 119 miles an hour, it said. So brings up Tony Taters. Anthony Santander has been notoriously having a rough go in April. He hits a 3-run home run to tie the ball game, put this thing at 6-6. Goes Bash Brothers with Vlad and gets this team right in the thick of it. So sets the stage for Jeff Hoffman, who had already been pitching incredibly in his 1 inning of work after he comes in this ball game. Jeff Hoffman was just crazy good. After Brandon Little sets him up, 2 innings of work eventually leads to the win with the walk-off. And I just cannot say enough good things about what Jeff Hoffman's brought to this bullpen. Has really pushed the guys into the roles to where they can, succeed. People like even all the way down in the bullpen down to Brandon Little. Him and Jimmy Garcia are in that role of being able to be the righty-lefty punch that you need at the back of the end of the game. And then you bring in Hoffman to slam the door shut. And Jimmy Garcia being about as good so far this season, still has not allowed to run that this year. Also got in this game, but Hoffman, especially in the 10th inning before the Blue Jays had a chance to walk this off. Obviously, you start the runner on second, and he was able to just strike out guys. And 2 guys gets an out, puts the Blue Jays in really, really good position for success in the 10th, keeps things moving, and eventually it leads to runners getting moved around just enough for Alejandro Kirk to have a sac fly that drives in Vlad, and it was just great. It felt therapeutic. It felt cathartic. All the above for the Blue Jays victory yesterday. I do think there is something to talk about culture and whatnot in the locker room. This is the kind of stuff that all of a sudden turns the frown upside down and can let them go streaking a little bit. So hopefully tonight they can walk away with a series win. And technically, with the Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox for Game 3 tonight, Jose Barrios versus Tanner Houck. And both of them having very up and down years, I'd say. Barrios has a 4.24 ERA, and we've seen the best, and we've seen a few rough ones from Barrios. So hopefully he can find a way to silence the Red Sox bats like he did earlier in the year. There's a few guys in this lineup that like playing, apparently, against Jose Barrios, and that one is Jared Duran, who has 3 home runs and 18 at-bats, 15 RBIs, and betting 500 against Jose Barrios. The other one is Rafael Devers has got only 2 hits in his career against Jose Barrios, but he has 5 RBIs. Similar fashion with Alex Bregman, who has been on fire, as I had mentioned. So how do the Blue Jays do against Tanner Houck? They see him a lot. Right now, this is one of those things that we got guys that have been hitting against him. Ernie Clement, funny enough, has got a bunch of hits with him. Vlad Jr. And yeah, there's some encouraging things here, including Dalton Varsho that is a home run in his career against Houck. So hopefully they can capitalize on the fact that he has been having a very up and down season. Walk out of Toronto, or not walk out. Send the Red Sox out of Toronto here with a series loss. Get back in the right here because it has been just abysmal to watch these Toronto Blue Jays over the last few weeks. And I think this is where they need to find a way to get a W and move forward. So, on that note, Blue Jays fans, thank you very much for tuning in to Jay's Latest. Please tune in to Jay Bird Watching as well at Bird Watching GC, wherever you find your podcasts, social media, any and all the above. That's how you can get a hold of us, along with right here at Jay's TV or Jay's Latest TV on YouTube. We are here to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays. If you happen to be around the ballpark this weekend up in Toronto, I am going to be walking around with my BFF, Liz McGuire and a bunch of other fun people. So we will be enjoying the ball game on Friday and Saturday. So please stop by if you happen to see me, and we'll talk some baseball and we'll enjoy. So talk to you soon. Cheers, baseball fans, and let's go Blue Jays.